Get ready for dictation. 5 seconds to go. Start. Honorable Speaker, I rise to reply to the debate on the motion of thanks to the Honorable President for her address to both the Houses of Parliament. At the outset, I wish to express my deep gratitude to all the honorable members who have participated in this discussion over the last 3 days. The debate has been characterized by a spirit of vibrant democracy, reflecting the aspirations of 140 crore Indians. As we stand at the threshold of a new era, having celebrated the 75th anniversary of our republic, this address serves as a roadmap for a self-reliant and prosperous India. Sir, several members have raised points regarding our constitutional values. Let me be very clear for this government. The Constitution is not merely a legal document but a sacred manual for nation building. It is the strength of our democratic framework that ensures the voice of the last person in the queue is heard in this august house. We have moved from a period of policy paralysis to a decade of decisive action. The world once viewed us as part of the fragile five economies, but today India is recognized as the fastest growing major economy and a bright spot in the global landscape. The subtopic of our discussion today must center on the transformation of our economy through structural reforms. We have consistently followed the mantra of reform, perform, and transform. This is not just a slogan, but a lived reality of millions. By simplifying the tax regime, improving the ease of doing business, and investing heavily in modern infrastructure, we have laid a foundation that will support our goal of becoming a $5 trillion economy in the near future. Our focus on the Gati Shakti master plan is ensuring that our logistical costs are reduced, making our local industries globally competitive. Furthermore, sir, we must address the concerns raised regarding the agricultural sector. Our farmers are the annadatas of the nation, and their welfare is our topmost priority. We have moved beyond traditional farming by introducing drone technology, promoting organic farming, and ensuring that the minimum support price reaches the bank accounts of farmers directly through the DBT system. By providing over 2.5 times more financial support to paddy and wheat farmers compared to previous decades, we are ensuring that the rural economy remains resilient. Without a prosperous village, the dream of a Viksit Bharat will remain incomplete. In addition to agriculture, the role of our youth, or the Amrit Pedi, is central of our vision for 2047. we are in the process of formulating a new education policy that bridges the gap between degrees and skills. The rise of our startup ecosystem, which is now the third largest in the world, is a testament to the innovative spirit of our young entrepreneurs. We are empowering them not just to be job seekers but to be job creators. Whether it is in space technology, green energy, or semiconductor manufacturing, the youth of India are leading from the front. Sir, another important aspect of the President's address is the commitment to Nari Shakti or women led development. We believe that when women prosper, the nation prospers. From providing clean cooking fuel under the Ujjwala Yojana to ensuring dignity through the construction of toilets and providing ownership of houses under the Awas Yojana, we have focused on the holistic empowerment of women. Our sisters are now breaking glass ceilings, from serving in the armed forces to leading scientific missions on the moon. However, challenges remain in the form of digital and social divides. Our government is committed to saturation, the idea that every eligible citizen must receive the benefit of government schemes without any discrimination. This is the true meaning of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. By leveraging the India Stack and digital public infrastructure, we have ensured that there are no leakages in the delivery of services. Today, even a small vendor in a remote village can accept payments digitally, reflecting a massive behavioral shift in our society. Finally, sir, let us remember that our strength lies in our unity. We are a nation of immense diversity, but our hearts beat as one. As we march toward the centenary of our independence in 2047, let us resolve to leave behind the sand of dead habit and embrace a new ethos of duty. Let us work together to build an India that is not only economically powerful but also socially inclusive and environmentally sustainable. The next 5 years will be the foundation of the next 25. I thank the Honorable President once again for her inspiring address, which has filled the nation with new hope and energy. Stop.